welcome our three new peers this evening. I also welcome our new Labour government. I think they've made some moves in the right direction, for example, the Hillsborough Law and appointing the Noble Lord Timpson. I hope he's given the powers to do his job properly. However, there were a few issues that were not in the King's speech, which I think really ought to have been. And so I would like to raise these topics and to hear the government response and hopefully hear what they plan to do about it. Now, the first on my list is civil liberties, because as many noble lords will know, we had a lot of repressive laws passed in this House by the former government. And just recently, the Just Stop Oil activists were treated absolutely abominably in court and given some very long prison sentences, much longer than many sexual predators get. The judge who jailed them said, the end of the world is neither here nor there. Now, personally, I'd like to disagree about that. And I think he showed how draconian the sentencing guidelines are, with 60% of the population thinking that an average imprisonment time of 4.5 years for these people is simply too much. And I think that judge has also ensured that the next time a case like this goes before a jury, they could quite possibly ignore that judge and find the defendants not guilty, which they're entitled to do according to their conscience. The right was established back in the early days of Quaker dissent and inscribed on the walls of the Old Bailey. Juries can use their common sense to defend the actions of ordinary people when the law is being used to suppress those beliefs or actions. And the judge has also highlighted the stupidity of throwing climate protesters in prison at the same time as releasing thousands of criminals early because of overcrowded prisons. Now, I'm not keen on putting huge numbers of people in prison, just the violent ones, but we haven't yet jailed anyone for the post office scandal or for Grenfell Tower or the infected blood scandals. What about the obscene rip-off of taxpayers over the PPE ministerial fast track? Or the parasites in our water industry, with companies making billions from poisoning our rivers? People are seeing their taxes go up and the NHS collapsing, but the people who walked away with our money stay free to spend it. I see the trauma and long years of suffering by sub-postmasters, but those who let them down get to keep their corporate pensions. And I remember the flames at Grenfell Tower, but the building and development industry that allowed the cladding scandal to happen is as profitable as ever. Now, clearly, I don't blame the new government for this, but they have to deal with it. We have scandals, we have inquiries, we have taxpayers picking up the bill for compensation, but those responsible at the heart of those scandals get to keep their money and rarely face jail time. So I don't understand why there's a draconian clampdown on climate protesters when the climate crisis is accelerating. And essentially it's because the oil and gas industry bought the last government, the corruption of dirty money being pumped into the political system via party donations, MPs' second jobs as lobbyists, and Tufton Street think tanks mean that we have a polluted system. So it's time to ditch those sentencing guidelines and the whole package of laws passed by the last government. We need our civil liberties restored. People have voted for change, so please do it.